The universe doesn't care who you used to be. It cares who you are now, because that is who is giving it orders. What is up, my fellow dreamers and soul searchers? Welcome to the Roxy Talks Manifestation Podcast, your raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic source for all things manifestation related. I'm Roxy Lee, and for the last decade, I have been researching and developing my signature 360 method, which combines behavioral science, quantum physics, and the law of attraction to help you manifest a life beyond your wildest dreams. Visit RoxyTalks.com for more info. Now, let's get into it. With the past stuff, the issue comes in when we start using our past in a non-productive way. When we are hanging on to the notion that things from our past are currently not available to us, or we're resenting or hating what happened to us in our past and what that did to us, right? Conversely, because that's really the real issue. And of course, most importantly, defining yourself by past definitions or experiences. When we use our past like that, we are using it to our detriment. And we're failing to use it as a tool, which, we can make anything work for us. So let's make our past work for us. And, even beyond that, we don't even need to make our past work for us, really, because you can make up any past and decide it's part of your story or no past, it's really whatever you can wrap your mind around. Time's not linear. We know that time is not linear. What we are experiencing as human beings is a constant stream of consciousness, but that isn't time passing in the way that our narrow perspective allows us to kind of experience and judge it, understand it, or, decipher it. What's really happening is that our consciousness, which, remember, that's the thing that manifests our world, very important. The big C. Well, that's not actually, hold on. Let's not call it that. The C. We'll call it the C, okay? The C, the consciousness, is operating within a decaying vessel. Me, us, we. On a realm or in a realm, whatever that looks like, with seasonal and geographical changes. But time itself is not moving in the traditional sense, in the way that we have come to believe it. Our energy, our C, the consciousness, is perpetually passing through these near infinite amounts of still images, or AKA realities, and the super quick procession through these stagnant realities appears to be like a moving picture, just like a movie. But these realities, they're all like already here. They're already in existence. Like I said, they are stagnant. The realities they've been there. You don't have anything to do with that. But you are moving through them. And each individual moment is comprised of billions of realities all sandwiched together. So what is really happening is that these realities are not coming with us. We are moving through them as we experience life. And that, again, is what we consider to be the passage of time. But because of that, again, you are a moving object flowing through stagnation, okay? That makes your past a choice, okay? It makes the past just as much of a choice as the future is. Because here's the thing, right? I'm going to drop a little bomb on you. Maybe you already know this, but the past and the future are the same thing. You are either in the present moment or you're not. That's it. There's no in between that we know of, that we know of so far, right? In the reality that we're in right now, this kind of version of Earth, there is no in between. You're either in this moment or you're not, right? Right? And now, that's all we have, right? We've heard that. It's just like all we have is now. And when you are thinking of the past, you may think you're recalling your current version's past. But what you're actually doing is assigning your current version a past right in that moment, right? And therefore, you're choosing, selecting, creating, manifesting, all the same thing, a version of you with the implications and scars or effects of that past. And this is the same thing that happens when we consider our future. Okay, we are picking a future for ourselves out of the realm of unfathomable numbers of probabilities. But the act of imagining or visualizing what is in front of us on our timeline is essentially like you're making a forward memory. And that's what you're doing when you are conjuring up your past. You're making like a backward memory. Like, thinking of something in the future, front memory, from the face forward memory, something from your past, back of your, eyes in the back of my head, that kind of memory. It's behind you. So it's the same thing because the past and the present are the same thing. Those realities, like I said, they already are in existence. You aren't them. You're moving through them. And you might move through a certain reality at a certain time. But that reality isn't necessarily in the past or the future because it's already there and it will be there after you and it was there before you. So my past could be your future, could be somebody else's past, could be somebody else's future, but it's, could be the same snapshot of reality, but we move through it in different times or, and in different energetic times or let's use that word time loosely here. But the point is that the realities already exist. You are simply a visitor for a brief, quick second, faster than I can even snap my fingers. So anything that you attach to yourself, you've brought with you, and again, all these realities, these moments, all of that stuff is already in existence, but your consciousness, your C, the letter C, when it moves through it in the now, that's what matters because that's where your consciousness is. So your consciousness is in that snapshot of reality right in that moment. And that's all that matters because the snapshots are already there. They're all already there and they're all just as likely because they all exist. It's more so important. Which one are you looking at? Which one are you looking through with your human eyes? That's what's important. So if it's not the present moment, then it is probability and potentiality always. Whether you think that's in front of you or behind you or next to you, that's your opinion, but that's not the truth because your past already exists somewhere and it's still there. That snapshot of reality is still there and is just as viable and accessible, if you will, and valid as the one we're in right now. It has to be. It has to be because time is not what we think it is. So more of the story, know in your soul that the past does not and cannot define you unless you choose it as your past by thinking it's your past and therefore thinking it's unchangeable. So when you start looking forward and defining yourself in a new way, this is like no limitations, no ceiling, sky's the limit. You can be whoever or whatever. So do your best not to assume that because you experienced or expected something for yourself in the past, that there are only certain realities available to you. That's you, again, assuming your own past and simultaneously cutting yourself off for the future in the exact same moment. The universe doesn't care who you used to be. It cares who you are now, because that is who is giving it orders. I said in the past, if you remember, you are a now machine. There is only now, and your consciousness only lives in the present moment. We also know, right, that consciousness is manifesting. So whatever it is that your awareness is on is sure to be in your world. That's just how it works. So when you go forth with open arms and an open mind and an open heart for yourself. Forgive yourself and your past, because carrying around baggage makes you a baggage handler, okay? And we don't need all that baggage. Drop the bags. Travel light. You deserve peace in your new reality. You deserve peace in the new year. We can shed these ideals and these the traumas or the pain or the stories or the past or these expectations and these definitions from ourselves or our friends or our parents or whatever. All of that is held in place by us. And the second we begin to consider ourselves and our world in a different way, it starts showing up to you in a different way. It really does. It does not take long. So just be mindful of who you think you are. Really, truly. Because who you think you are is who you are. So choose who you think you are and choose it wisely. Choose the thoughts of that you. What does that person think about? And how do they think about themselves? What do they think is possible for them? What do they think is coming down the line for them? Who do they think they are allowed to be with in a relationship? Or who do they think they are allowed to work for? Who do they think they are allowed to work as an employer of? Do you think that you're capable of being more than what society tells you or whatever, right? I'm just making a bunch of shit up, but really, like, this is stuff that we're all doing. We're all carrying around these definitions of self and who we are and what we're supposed to be and what's good enough and what you're not supposed to do and what you should do. And, it's all shit that you're making up, because the reality where that is important is just as valid and just as already in existence as the reality where nobody fucking cares. So choose the nobody fucking cares road so that you can just go do what you want to do. If you know and understand and intend and repeat to yourself and just make it a mantra and a discipline to tell yourself that everything is fine, it's what you say, and everything is on board. Everybody's on board with you. They support your ideas. They like what you have to say. They like what you're doing. You're inspiring to them or whatever. It doesn't really matter. If you tell yourself every single day that what you want is okay and is happening for you and it's great and everything's working out, then that's what it'll be.